America is facing a nightmare scenario with a looming strike and wrecked infrastructure after Hurricane Helene. Had first and foremost call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahakwadash. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the Lord's elect, teaching in truth, sincerity, and diligence for the sake of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. Yeah, and who's bringing forth that nightmare scenario to America? Well, the Lord is, man. You see, because the Lord, he controls the affairs that take place here in the planet Earth. So it was the Lord that ultimately sent forth, that storm to America that destroyed the infrastructure, that flooded out these different interstates to slow down their production, man. To slow down the flow of the economy on top of the strike. The Lord caused that to happen, man. You see, because as is written in prophecy, that all the sown places are going to suddenly appear unsown. And from the videos that's been going out, a lot of these Walmarts been coming up empty, man. You see people been panic buying, so that's speeding up the process of goods coming off the shelves. On top of the trucks not moving, on top of the goods not being distributed throughout, the different majors and minor cities. It's all the Lord doing these things, man. And that in itself is going to bring forth that nightmare scenario to America, man. You see, because suddenly people is going to start responding to the things that's taking place here in the society, which just talked about now, laughed about, joked about, people making memes and skits. It's going to become a great concern here in this society, man. And even the comedians is going to fall into a serious spirit, man. Comedians and all these content creators, everybody want to make a joke. All these niggas gonna get serious because their livelihood gonna be on the line. You ain't gonna have shit to eat, man. You see, on top of Bank of America, a lot of their people who bank with them, they lost a lot of money, man. For the lack of better terms, you see. So all these events that's suddenly taking place here in America is gonna ultimately spark a reaction, man. And people suddenly gonna go into an uproar. And you're going to experience that nightmare scenario, you see, real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7 in the NLT. It says, I create light and make darkness. I send good times and bad times. I, the Lord, am the one who does these things, you see. And it's the Lord that's sending forth these bad times, man. Times that's hard to bear, is to tell you real quick. 2 Timothy 3:1 says this, know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And it's the Lord that's shaping these perilous times, and he's causing certain events to take place here in the earth that's bringing forth, perilous times. You see those very difficult times, man. You see, you go into the word perilous. Strong's G 5467.
Strong's G 5467. Chalipas. Chalipas.
Yeah, chalipas. It takes you to hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous. You see, harsh, fierce, and savage. And all these complement a nightmare scenario that's suddenly going to unfold here in the society, man. From the different events that's been taking place. You're experiencing this place being reduced, man. You go into the root word definition, says through the idea of reducing the strength, man. And everything that pretty much upheld America is now suddenly started to reduce. The abundance of resources, the abundance of food, the luxuries, the comforts, the stability, the convenience. All these things is suddenly is reducing. You see, day by day, man. People are more concerned about their livelihood than entertainment now. People is more concerned about the future. You see, concerned about eating. They pretty much concerned with prophecy, man. And that concern is only going to continue to intensify more and more. You see, real quick, this is Luke 21 and verse 25. It says, and there should be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations in which these things is taking place. You're seeing the sign in the sun, in the moon, and the stars. You have the fire, the ring of fire eclipse. You know, you just suddenly had this. You had the solar eclipse. Then you having a lot of chariot signs. You know, NASA coming out telling you how they seeing spaceships flying in space towards Earth in light year speed. You know, so it's different things that's taking place in the earth that's complementing the end times, man. You know, then it says upon the earth, the stress of nations. So outside of the things happening in the heavens, you having a distress of nations here in the earth with that spirit of frustration and stress is suddenly starting to pick up in these people, man. Yeah, it says with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. And along with the spirit of distress, a spirit of perplexity is taking hold of these people as well, where they don't even know, you know, which way to turn, man. You see, because so many things is happening all at once, a future is starting to look bleak here in America. You know, real quick, you go into that word perplexity. Strong's G639, it says to be without resources, yeah, and to be in straits. And yeah, people are suddenly going to start going without resources, man. You're going to experience a life without. You know, right now you have life in abundance. You see, but suddenly you're going to experience life without, man. Everything that you have grown comfortable to pretty much receiving and getting, and things readily being available for you to buy on shelves, is not going to be there anymore. You see, it says to be without resources, to be in straits, which is a level of difficulty. Going back to perilous times that's hard to bear. You know, it says to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, you see. And a lot of people is going to be embarrassed because a lot of people, you heard the sound of the trumpet, you know, but you mocked the messengers of the Lord, man. And you're going to reap the benefits of mocking the Lord's messengers. You're going to be embarrassed out here, man. You see, it says to be in doubt and not to know which way to turn. You see, it says to be at loss with oneself, be in doubt, not to know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed, man. People are going to be scatterbrained out here when this thing really sink in, man. You see, when they see shit really not going back to normal, you know, the food is really drying up. You know how I'm going to feed my kids? It's going to be a lot of what we got to do or what we going to do type of questions being asked in that day. And that's a part of you not knowing what to do or how to decide on what to do, man. You know, it says in a strong definition, it says to have no way out, to be at loss mentally, man. You're going to pretty much lose your footing, man. Everything that you stood for, all the plans, you was Mr. Make It Happen. You know, Mr. Make It Happen ain't going to be shit in that day, man. He ain't going to be able to make shit happen. He ain't going to be able to put no food on the table. You know, he ain't going to be able to give you sound advice, comforting words, you know, admirations. None of that shit is going to hold up in that day, man. He's going to be at loss mentally. You see? He ain't going to have no way out. He ain't going to have no answers, man. But this is the condition that's about to take hold of the planet Earth. This is all a part of that nightmare scenario, man. You going from sugar to shit. You see? And it's going to be a nightmare transition because the response people is going to have to it is going to be, you know, where it says harsh, fierce, and savage, man. You see? Real quick, was that 2nd Ezra 15, just to give you a glimpse. What is it? 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And when people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, yeah, because you're going to have civil wars, class wars, race wars, you know, militia groups is going to roll out. All sorts of wars is going to take place right here on the soils of America. It's going to be certain questions asked, you know, what kind of American are you? You know, are you for the globalists or are you for the nation, for the lack of better terms, man? You a Democrat or a Republican? You see? And they actions are going to be weighed off your answers. You know? But it says, for there to be sedition amongst men. You see? And invading one another. they should not regard their kings nor princes, and the causes of their actions should stand in their power. So it's not even going to be nothing the government is going to be able to do to pretty much contain these people, man. To lure these people back to sleep. You see, you come into a time where people's going to be fully activated, man. That frustration is going to be at its peak, but people is going to start acting on it, man. You know, and it's going to be seditions out here in the street. People's not going to be regarding their kings or princes. No 911 call. No governor coming out to speak. No city council. No neighborhoods, activists. None of that shit, man. You see, it's a nightmare scenario. It says, and a man should desire to go into his city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed. And men shall be afraid, man. You see, all compliment that nightmare scenario that's suddenly about to unfold because those ports not opening back and things is not going to go back to normal, man. Yep, just wait till the food run dry. It says, and a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. Hard times, man. You see? And this is what you got coming to the earth, man. Very bad times. You know, it tells you here in Matthew 24 and verse 21, it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. You see, a great tribulation. You go into that word tribulation, just a simple Google definition. Yeah, it says tribulation are experiences that cause suffering, pain, and unhappiness, man. All complementing that nightmare scenario. You see, it's about to come to America, Babylon the Great. You see? And this pretty much going to be the end result for this place, man. Completely destroyed. But yeah, Akim, I pray that you was edified. Giving honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh by Hashem Shai, by Hashem Rahakwadash. Low into this video. Shalom.